Let this be your sign to start creating food content because you can get a press pass to the Summer Fancy Food Show and eat endless amounts of gourmet food. Now, this is a massive convention in New York City, and I only had about 4 hours to get through the entire show, so I didn't stop and try every single thing, but what I did have was incredible. It's a combination of new and established food brands, and I'd say at least 80% of the booths would offer free samples. I'm not even sure I could name every single bite I had when I was here because there were just so many. I was so full when I left, but I can tell you some of my favorites, like this American Vinegar Works, the Zucker's bagels with salmon. I had a really yummy lobster bisque from this booth that just had tons of soup. Blue House Salmon was one of my favorite booths of the day because they were serving some raw salmon, which I love, but they're also a very sustainable farm-raised salmon company. Another one that I absolutely loved was this shelf-stable boiled peanuts. I'm from South Carolina, and if you've never had boiled peanuts, you are absolutely missing out. They're so good. So that was all just from the first floor, and then I went up to the third floor where the entire floor was Italian food. There were a few non-Italian booths up here, like this Wagyu steak, which I absolutely loved and I came back for at the end. It was so good. But there were also so many booths doing pasta. I had lots of cacio e pepe. I had this tomato orecchiette. I found a truffle booth that had truffle ice cream. I did not try that. But the risotto was great and this uni butter was incredible. I then headed towards the debut district, which is where there's a bunch of up and coming brands, and it was really fun to taste and look at all of those things as well. There weren't a ton of things to sample there, so I ended up heading back towards the Japan district where I had lots of yummy noodles and I got to talk to the Kewpie people, which I love Kewpie. Then I somehow ended up in Cheeseland. Honestly, I was kind of lost at this point, but everything around me was cheese. I found more pasta with a cheese wheel, more caviar, some quail eggs, and then this really delicious lychee boba drink that comes in a can. At this point, I was so stuffed, but I wanted a little bit more pasta, and then I had to go back and find the Japanese Wagyu because it was genuinely the best bite I had all day. There were a handful of us just waiting around for them to bring more samples out. Everything was so good.